Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Multi Podcast. This is your host, Kenya. I hope I can reach your heart, spirit, and mind throughout this time that we'll spend together. God bless you all. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Multi Podcast. My name is Kenya, and today we will be talking about depression and anxiety, and how sometimes we can't really tell that someone's going through depression or anxiety because that person looks very happy. They really don't show it sometimes, and when they show it, they might already be into depression. As a person with anxiety and depression, sometimes it's hard to open up to others and admit that you have depression. I myself personally experienced both depression and anxiety, and I came to learn that with depression you also get anxiety. But it happened to me right after I had my second son. It's something called postpartum depression. At first I didn't really think it was possible because with my first son I didn't experience that. So I was like, man, maybe that's not true, maybe it's not something that really happens to moms, but it is. And now that I come to think about it, I think there was a purpose to me going through that experience, because now I can talk about it, and now when somebody reaches out to me to ask about those things, I can give them my personal experience and my personal feedback. Of course, always recommend that you reach out for professional advice, and but yeah, I can actually help people now, because I know the feeling of depression. I know the feeling of anxiety, and it's not a very nice feeling. Up to this day, I'm still trying to get out of anxiety. It's not as bad as in the beginning, but I'm still struggling with it. But I think I'm doing better than before. So when you are under depression, you pretty much just feel really sad, and you can't explain why you're sad. There's a lot of mood swings going on. You feel like you're happy, really, really happy at moments, and then just randomly you go into this depression mode, and you really don't know why. And even the funniest joke won't make you laugh because you're under that depression. At least that's how it went down for me during the postpartum depression. I'm not sure how men experience that, but I can guess it might be somewhat similar to that. And anxiety, for me personally, my anxiety comes when I see a blood pressure machine. I experienced high blood pressure towards the end of my pregnancy, and I experienced really high blood pressure, and how I just remember how that felt, and it scares me because I think that I'm gonna die, that my blood pressure is gonna rise so high that it's gonna cause me death. And it scares me because I start thinking about my children. What's gonna happen to them? What are they gonna do without their mom? Yeah, they do have their dad, they do have their grandparents, they have our family members, but they won't have their mom. And I see the love they show to me, and it scares me because I don't want to leave my little ones alone. And I'm pretty sure that any of you out there that have children, whether you're a dad or a mom, you know what I'm talking about. You see your little ones and you just see how cute they are and how precious they are to you, and and you wish you were there at all times, even when they fall, and you wish you were there just to pick them up and give them a hug and make them feel comfortable. And now me thinking about high blood pressure and I can die makes it even worse. We actually went to the store. My husband and I, we were at the store, and this is an example of my anxiety. We were at the store, and we were just walking around, and I saw the blood pressure machine, the ones that they have in the stores, where you can check your blood pressure for free. And I told them, I was like, you know what, let me check my blood pressure. But as I said that, I started getting anxious, and I went to take a seat, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna relax, because I know that when you're walking around and then you sit down and you check your blood pressure, it comes out a little bit high because you've been walking around. So you kind of want to sit down, take a couple seconds, and then check your blood pressure. So I did that, but in me, I was anxious. I was nervous. I remembered the time when my blood pressure rose, and I started getting a little bit nervous. And I said to myself, that's all in your head. Relax. But it didn't work because, of course, I was still nervous. So I went on and I checked my blood pressure, and surely enough, it came out high. Not super high, but it came out high. And I was like, oh God, I have high blood pressure again. In my head, right? I wasn't telling this to my husband. What I said to my husband was like, oh yeah, it's because I was walking around, and I didn't give it enough time. But in reality, it was because I was super nervous, and I was really anxious inside, and I was like, oh my God, my blood pressure is high. I'm gonna have to go to the hospital right now, or crazy thoughts like that. So I decided to relax. I was like, okay. In me, inner Kenya was like, relax. You're okay. You don't have any of the symptoms. You're fine. Stop being so dramatic. Just breathe and check your blood pressure again. So I took a deep breath. I kind of relaxed. I started talking to my husband, and then I did it again. And surely enough, my blood pressure was normal. So the way I see anxiety is, I'm not sure about how people experience phobia with animals, spiders, or anything that they see. I know my sister, when she sees a bee, she goes all crazy and starts screaming. So I'm not sure if it's sort of the same thing, but it's a scary feeling. And for me, I want to say that anxiety comes from something that happened that shocked you so much that when you see something, or when you think about that moment, it makes you panic. It makes you get so scared that the anxiety comes in. And for me, it's blood pressure. It's blood pressure machines. So now I'm thinking, oh my God, when I go to the hospital, just for any appointment, regular appointment, when I sit down and for them to take my blood pressure, I'm going to start getting anxious. So that's something I have to work on. And of course, if it comes out a little bit high in the beginning, I will let the lady know that it's because I'm overreacting. But yeah, that's the feeling for anxiety. And for those of you that are not very familiar with high blood pressure, or haven't experienced that, and I hope you guys don't, but the symptoms for me, I'm not sure if that's the same case for everyone, but I'm pretty sure it might be. The symptoms are really blurry vision, and also along with that comes a really bad headache. So you're getting a really blurry vision and a really bad headache. And when I experienced it in the hospital, it started off with me being unable to breathe. It was more like a heavy weight on my and then as I got up, it started off with blurry vision and this really intense headache. Like it was just getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. So if you guys experience any dizziness along with the really bad headache, I suggest you immediately go to the hospital, because blood pressure is something very dangerous. And yeah, so depression for me was more like, I feel sad, I feel mad. It was looking at my husband and getting mad at him. Why are you so happy with the baby and you didn't have to experience any of the pain I had to go through? And look at me, and you're all happy and I'm all depressed. So it's kind of very a very sad moment for the person experiencing it. And also, in my personal experience, blaming others for things, taking anger on other people that might not even want to hurt you, but since you're going through that thought, through that depression, you see everyone against you. So that's how I experienced it. That's how it happened to me. And it's something that after I kind of realized I was hurting others, my husband most of all, I apologized. It's a very hard situation for the person going through depression, and for the people around that person that's experiencing depression. It's a really hard time for both of them. But yeah, like I said, depression and anxiety are not a really good feeling, and just try to, my advice is just try your best to get out of that depression. Don't stay stuck in it, because once you let it get to you and once you let it control you, it's going to be harder for you to let go of the depression. Once you let anxiety control your life, it's going to be harder for you to get out of it, and you're going to end up hurting people around you that love you. And because you're in that depression mode, you see that they're attacking you. Any little thing that they try to do to help you out is going to seem like they're attacking you, and they're just trying to accuse you of things, and that's not how it is. They're just trying to help out. But of course, when you're in that mode, you just see everyone as your enemy, and I understand that it's not easy, but it's not impossible. As a person that was able to get out of depression, I can say that it's not impossible. It is something really hard to do, but it's possible. And yeah, like I said, you're in that mode where you're like, why doesn't anyone understand me? Why do they not feel how I feel? Yes, they don't understand you, because obviously they're not the one going through that, but they're trying to help you out. They're trying to be there for you. So even though you're in that closing everybody out of your life mode, try to let people in. Otherwise, how do you expect to get help if you don't want to look or let them in? It's hard to admit that you're under depression, but we have to do it sometimes. And some depression symptoms, like I said, depression and anxiety are what I want to call cousins. They're cousins because depression and then anxiety comes with depression. That's a way for me to see it. You guys can name it whatever you'd like. But yeah, with depression symptoms, there's anxiety, there's discontent. Nothing makes you happy. Like I mentioned, not even the funniest joke, the best comedian can make you laugh when you're in that situation. Everything is blue. Not literally, but in your head. Everything is blue around you. And it's kind of crazy that sometimes when you're in that mode, all the songs on the radio that play are just really depressing, sad songs. But try to get out of that. Try to play your own music. Try to play happy music. Try to surround yourself with happy people. Even if their jokes don't make you laugh, just the vibe will help you out a lot. Also, another symptom is crying excessively. When somebody's just crying and crying and crying and they don't know why. They just know that they're sad. They just know that they're depressed. That's also a symptom. And fatigue, when somebody just tries to sleep a lot. Sleeping a lot is bad, and not sleeping enough is also bad. So just try to get enough sleep, not too much, not too little. And for anxiety symptoms, it's racing thoughts, which means, like, for example, myself, you see the blood pressure machine and your thoughts start going crazy. As for me, I'm gonna die. My blood pressure is gonna be super high. I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. My kids are gonna be without a mom. Those type of things. That's what it means by racing thoughts. And excessive worry. Same thing. They all connect. You're worried about. As for me, I'm worried about my kids. I'm not sure what your worries are. And fear and anger. You fear, for me, example, that I'm gonna die, and I get angry at others because they don't understand me. So, how to help somebody that's experiencing depression? I actually found a phone number. I'm not sure if it works for everybody or in your area, but for those in California, probably US, the phone number is 1-800-662-4357. It's free, it's confidential, and they have it in Spanish and English. And also how to help somebody with anxiety. Stay with that person. Don't make assumptions. Don't be like, you're crazy. Nothing's going on. You're just going nuts. Don't ever do that to somebody. That's the worst thing you can do, is call them crazy. I thank God for my husband, because he was of great support in those moments of anxiety. He would always look at me and just be like, start breathing, like, breathe, look at me, breathe, and relax, and it's all in your head, and just breathe. And he would start making conversations about things that he would know distracted me. So in a way that helps, have somebody around you that knows you well enough to know what's going to get you talking about other things, rather than make you panic even more. Like I said, don't ever say to somebody, you're crazy, it's all in your head, you're just nuts. No, that's a big no. Don't ever do that to anybody, because either they'll get really upset at you, or you'll be getting a big slap in the face. And stay with that person. Like I said, help them breathe. Count to 10 breathing. That helps a lot. Just breathe in, breathe out. And for those that are in depression, ways to start getting out of it is, like I said, surround yourself with people that are happy. Don't surround yourself with grumpy people, negative people. You don't need none of that. All you need is a happy place, a happy person, that even though their jokes don't make you laugh, they can still bring joy to you. And for those that are in anxiety, experiencing anxiety, like I said, take deep breaths, count to 10 slowly, and try to sleep enough. Those are my suggestions. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for today. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Thank you for tuning in to the Multi Podcast, and God bless you.